As we think about estate planning for blended families, it can be a really complicated thing. The most complicated thing to deal with is the emotions, though, because the rest of it can be talked through and it can be solved. Oftentimes are great relationships between people, and sometimes there's not. But the themes that we've figured out as we've worked with a lot of people is generally mom and dad want everyone to get along. They want peace in relationships as much as possible. And organizing your estate planning in a way that can hopefully accomplish that as much as is reasonable is a goal and an aspiration. One of the challenges that people run into is if they set up their estate planning so everything goes to the spouse and they haven't thought about how it works out with their kids. What could happen is if you pass away and everything passes to your spouse, it could go to their kids and not your kids, which is usually not what people want. This can be worked through looking at things like beneficiary designations, life insurance policies. Maybe there's something that can be directed to the kids right away, or maybe there can be conversations or trust planning that's put together as well to provide a bit of stability and predictability as far as how things are going to play out. Another important thing to think about is housing for a surviving spouse. Sometimes one spouse will own the house and the other one doesn't. In those cases, sometimes you'll hear about life tenancy, allowing the surviving spouse to live in the house as long as they live. One of the challenges with that is, what if that's not the right house for them to live in? What if it's too much for them to manage? What if they need to move somewhere else so they can get better care? That is something that is helpful to think about in terms of providing resources for a home to live in, not necessarily only this home to live in. The key to effective estate planning is not only having proactive communication, but it's putting a game plan together. Bringing in a third party who can help you think these things through, stepping away from the emotion, can be a real game changer. And it can help relationships, not just now within your family, but for generations to come.